the Rwanda scheme was dead and buried before it started. It's never been a deterrent. Look at the numbers that have come over in the first 6 and a bit months of this year. They're record numbers. That is the problem that we are inheriting. It has never acted as a deterrent, almost the opposite, because everybody has worked out, particularly the gangs that run this, that the chance of ever going to Rwanda was so slim, less than 1%, that it was never a deterrent. The chances were of not going and not being processed and staying here, therefore, in paid-for accommodation for a very, very long time. It's had the complete opposite effect. And I'm not prepared to continue with gimmicks that don't act as a deterrent.
The newly elected Prime Minister of the United Kingdom has scrapped the controversial Rwanda policy, which aimed to deport asylum seekers to Rwanda for processing and resettlement. This policy was initially introduced by former Prime Minister Rishi Sunak as a measure to deter illegal immigration and manage the asylum process more effectively. The Rwanda policy faced significant legal and ethical challenges. The UK Supreme Court had ruled that the policy was unlawful, violating multiple domestic laws and international conventions, including the European Convention on Human Rights and the UN Refugee Convention. Despite attempts to legislate around these rulings, the policy was met with widespread criticism both domestically and internationally. The UK-Rwanda policy, officially known as the UK-Rwanda Migration and Economic Development Partnership, was a controversial immigration strategy announced by the UK government in April 2022. Under this policy, individuals who arrived in the UK illegally, particularly via small boats crossing the English Channel, could be relocated to Rwanda. Once in Rwanda, these asylum seekers' claims were processed, and if successful, they were granted asylum or other forms of protection in Rwanda rather than the UK. The UK government argued that this policy aimed to deter illegal immigration and human trafficking by disrupting the business model of smugglers and ensuring that the asylum system was not abused. The plan involved significant financial investment in Rwanda, intended to support the resettlement and integration of migrants. However, the policy faced intense criticism from human rights organizations, legal experts, and political opponents, who argued that it violated international asylum obligations and exposed vulnerable individuals to further harm. Critics also questioned Rwanda's capacity to handle the influx of migrants and raised concerns about the country's human rights record. Despite legal challenges and widespread opposition, the conservative UK government remained committed to the policy, emphasizing its potential to reduce dangerous crossings and restore control over national borders. However, the newly elected Prime Minister's decision to scrap the policy reflects a shift towards addressing the asylum process within the UK, rather than outsourcing it to third countries. This move has been welcomed by human rights organizations and critics who viewed the policy as inhumane and impractical. The Labour Party, which had been leading in the polls prior to the election, had consistently opposed the Rwanda policy, labeling it an ineffective and expensive gimmick. However, the newly elected government must come up with effective ways to deal with the immigration crisis in the UK. This includes creating a fair and efficient asylum system, addressing the root causes of migration. All these things will be crucial in developing a comprehensive and sustainable approach to immigration. Share your thoughts on this issue. Was the Rwanda policy really effective, or is there a better way? And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more news. We'll see you in the next video.